Hello, 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 everyone. Hello and good evening. Welcome. Come on into the craft room. I am Caron Bailey, your ATX Stampin' Lady. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm here to share with you my love of card making and products made by Stampin' Up. Excuse me. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I seem to have some sort of allergies going on, so I'm going to be constantly clearing my throat. I do apologize. I'll do my best to keep it at a minimum, but it is what it is, what it is. All right, guys, before we get started, quickly let me just pop on. If you follow Stampin' Up, you'll know that Stampin' Up publishes several catalogs throughout the year. This one is the September through December mini catalog, and I just wanted to remind you that this catalog and the products that's offered in it is still good until January 5th, even though it's the September to December. This catalog expires January 5th, at which time all the products in here, unless they're carrying over into the new catalog or they're going to online exclusives, you can find them in the last chance section on my website. But there's some awesome some good stuff in here. If there's anything that you're looking for, you have about a little bit more, a little bit less than a month, one day less than a month to shop and get what it is that you're needing from this catalog. All right, well, let's get to the heart of why we are here. We are here because of the Stampin' Up 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. Again, this is the first time that I'm aware of that Stampin' Up has done this type of an advent calendar. And right now and this is the first time I'm purchasing it, and I am absolutely loving, love it. Um, what's been revealed thus far. Guys, if you give me just a quick second, let me just go check and make sure that I'm live and folks can find me. Find us if they need us. Hold on just a second. I don't know why this has been challenging for me lately. So I would just want to make sure that I give folks a chance to pop in if they need a chance to pop in. I do know that it is a Saturday evening, and people are doing what people do on a Saturday evening, right? What's a normal Saturday for you? Today we had today I did, what did I do today? I had my first coffee and a card, coffee and two cards actually, event. I had it scheduled, one of our local restaurants. Let me give a big shout out to Mandola's. Um, they graciously allowed me to use their space today to host my class, and it was amazing. Thank you, and I thank you so much. I do have some extra kits available though. Excuse me. So they will be, if you purchase, okay, what's going on here, guys? Sorry about that. See, I'm not seeing and I just posted some stuff. All right, guys, so I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just going to keep going. Yes. Anyway, so let's do a quick recap of this kit. This kit is $99. I know you're going to say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But you guys, really, honestly, and truly, the products that we have already revealed It's kind of close to that $99, just not close to it, but and we still have 6 days left to go, okay? So a normal stamp and die bundle generally is, somewhere in the area of maybe 35 to $40. More 45 or so. Then we added stencils. Then we added some designer series paper. Then we added some gems. So you can see where I'm going with this. So if you're thinking um, it's not worth it, I'm here to tell you this was a good investment. Okay, so this was day 3. This was day 4, I think. All right, give me just a second here. Let me plod back through everything so I can tell you what's what. Uh-oh. Where'd I put it? Okay, here we go. All right, so day 1 were our dies. Okay. Day 2 was our designer series paper. And I just saw that again today. Day 3. Okay, now I'm missing something. Hold on, I gotta open the box. Okay. Dies, designer series paper, gems, stencils. Okay, I just washed them. That's why they weren't in there. Day 5. Oh my gosh, what was day 5? Oh, I'm sorry. This was the cuts. Day 5 were the stencils, and day 6, which is what we are on today, were these cute puffy stickers. Now, guys, I'm gonna have to tell you that this one really challenged me. I just don't normally do things um, with stickers, so this one really challenged me a lot, and I'm still challenged. So, but I'm hoping that the idea that I have comes to fruition, right? Okay, so I was inspired by this die right here. I was looking for, I know Stampin' Up! We had a postage punch, and I went looking for that, but it was really too big for what I wanted to do. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed my trusty old um, stylish shaped dies, and I grabbed the smallest stitch square, and I die cut 6 pieces. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those 6 pieces. Okay, so what I started to do, now each of these were an inch. So really technically, if I put them together, I needed a 3 by 3, actually a 3 by, oh, that's what it is. It's a 3 by 2, because that's how I arranged them. But what I ended up doing was cutting a piece of cardstock. This is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. And what I ended up doing here is you can't see it, is I took a little pencil and I created a 1/8 of an inch border. That would give me my guidelines as to where I wanted to be on this. But let's go ahead and get to designing, right? So I like to give things a little bit of interest. So I'm gonna grab, so the colors that I'm seeing in here, I see a lot of, mostly the pinks are what I see. Those are really prevalent in the colors. Um, so I think I want to pick up the green. And that looks like soft sea foam to me. So I'm going to grab, now guys, you can use whatever colors you want. I'm just saying what looks like it'll work for me. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to grab a little bit of a blending brush with my soft sea foam ink. And I'm going to grab a detailed brush. I don't know why that won't close. I'm going to grab one of my detailed brushes. Now, you can use the one from yesterday. I don't find that that's my favorite, so I'm going into my stash. And I'm just going to put a little bit of in the center. Okay. Now, soft sea foam is pretty much a light color anyway. So in order to maybe highlight, you might want to add a lot of more ink and a lot more pressure when you're applying. And I'm just going to do that 6 times. I hope this works. What I'm really thinking. So this might be a really short project today. So it was so funny today. Not funny. So we made some cards, and as always, when I do in-person events, um, I always one of the cards I always create and I give to our host location as a just as a thank you for allowing us to be in their space. And they didn't really charge us. So the only thing they had asked was that, we make sure we purchase um, something in the restaurant. And so we did. And that's included in the class fee, which is why it's included in the class fee. That way I'm guaranteeing that I will honor the agreement with the establishment. Okay, so that's done. Then, um, there was a nice little old lady sitting next to me. And I'll share a picture of the little I don't even know what you call it, turban that I was wearing in the venue, and she had on the exact same one, but in pink, and I thought that was so cute. But it also seemed, and I did not ask, I did not want to invade her privacy, but it seemed to me like she was having some health issues. So one of the cards that I created, I put a sentiment on there for her, and I gave her the card. I felt so good because and when I gave her the card, and I told her, which was true, and I said, the Lord put it on my heart that I should create this card and give it just for you. And I did. And she was so pleased, so touched. Both her and her husband thanked me, and I'm like, well, it wasn't, you know, I was, the Lord told me to do it, so I did. That's all it is. Anyway, and that's the purpose for making cards. The purpose for making. Hi, Brenda. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Um, Let me thank everybody that subscribed to my channel. I had a goal of having 300 subscribers by the end of this year, 2025. And you guys, I think I'm going to hit that goal. Thank you so much. I mean, I'd like to hit 500. So, oh, everybody that's joined me, please say hello. I'd love to know who's watching and where you're watching me from. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So what I'm going to do with all of these cards at the end of the 12 days is I'm going to write some tutorials, and I'm going to have those tutorials as a that shows all of the cards that I created, and it will be available, okay? And it'll end up being a gift with purchase, so you'll get like 12 tutorials as a gift with purchase. I haven't decided what yet. Um, I'm just going through this particular process. Okay, so we have all of our parts and pieces, and now here is our 3 3/8 inch square. Now I'm gonna lay them out to hope that I get what I'm looking for. Thank goodness I drew these lines, because if y'all know me, you know I just don't do anything straight. I might have to bring it down a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. But I'm going to lay them out the way I saw it in my head. And see if that'll work. And what adjustments I need to make. Have you guys, anybody that's watching? Hi, Brenda. Oh, Kentucky. Awesome. Are you a demonstrator in Kentucky, Brenda? I don't know that I've ever been to Kentucky. I'm planning a trip, well, several trips next year. Okay, so I want to shorten that gap a little bit. So I'm going to adjust these. Can you see? Let me dim the lights a little bit. Is the lighting good? Can you still see? Okay, guys, before I forget, please excuse my grid paper. I am trying to get through this entire 12 days without changing my grid paper, but it's really beginning to my OCD, if you would like to call it that, is about to be like, it's driving me mad. So I might have to change that paper pretty soon. I just don't keep them when they start to be all dirty. Okay. Where's my T ruler? I'm not good at using a T ruler, but this is precisely why I purchased it. To make sure that I line things up, right? And I line it up properly. All right, let's start with the first row. All right. Let me line this up here. And I'm going to put some tape on there. Because I don't want it to move once I've put it in place. All right. So I'm using some Post-it tape, and this is in 1/3 of an inch. No, you're not. Perfect. Are you a card maker though, Brenda? What's your favorite kind of card to make? Kind meaning you like to make fancy folds, you like technique driven heavy cards. What is your favorite kind of card to make if you are a card maker, even if you're not? All right, so I'm gonna bring this down. I think this is kind of where I want things to line up, right? So if I do that, oh, there we go. That works much better. And then use this line right there. Awesome. Guys, even with a T ruler, you will see that I still can't get this right. You'll see it. All right. Now, question for myself is, oh, okay, well, thank you definitely for joining me then. Do I want all of these to have a little bit of dimension, or do I want to offset some with dimension and some not? That is the question. I think I'm going to offset. But I'm willing to hear what you guys have to say. Should I offset? What are your thoughts? Should I use any dimension at all? Leave them all flat? Oh, watercolor. Oh, I would love to watercolor, but I am not good at it at all. I am not good at it at all, but I would love, if I could learn, I would be so happy. I know people say watercolor is not that hard, but it's challenging to me. Um, when I see some of the work that other people do, and then of course when my efforts don't turn out that way, I am so upset. All right, so I'm going to leave the center one depressed, I think. Or maybe the two on the, I think the two on the sides will be down. I think the two on the sides will be down. And then, I think so. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, there we go. Decision made. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab our liquid glue because we are going to need this. And I'm going to grab, I'm looking for my set of hands here because I need that little bit of assistance to make sure I line things up properly. Well, I do thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I do hope that I am able um, to serve your creativity needs. I do know that you have the option to watch anybody else and that you've chosen to spend some time with me. I'm very appreciative of that. So thank you. Alrighty. It's on this line right here. And then I'm going to go right like that. And then that should be lined up. This was the quickest and easiest thing that I could think of. Okay. Then make sure that we are about equidistant. Perfect. Oh, I like it. I'm liking this. Sometimes what you have in your head does not always pan out. But I am liking this so far. Okay, now we're gonna move up. I'm gonna have to move this a little tape here. And then I'm gonna grab over just a tad and up about here. think we moved up a notch. Perfect. I've seen in some of the other stamp companies, they've had, like, I think Waffle Flower is one that I've seen it. The little postage stamp dies, and Gina K has one too, I believe. The postage stamp stencil die set, something like that. I would have loved to use in this card. But the point of this really is I'm trying not to use so many additional products. Just want to leave everything to what's in the advent calendar. Perfect. So I think for the rest of the card, I'm pretty much going to do a white card. I'm going to mat on white, and then it's going to be on a white card base. I just really want to focus on the stickers. Cool. What do you guys think of this so far? Look at that. All right. Now let's go ahead and get rid of these pencil marks. You know, I just bought one of those erasers and I don't have any idea where I put it. But this one works just as well. All right, now I want to do some ribbon. Oops, I knocked over my tea ruler. Oh, so do you think I should do some green? This is kind of peachy. Is this like a peachy pink? Or should I go with a wow pink? What do you think, Brenda? 1, 2, or 3? I think this green. Which would be pretty? The green or the 1, 2, or 3? The green, the pink, or the magenta-ish pink? Ah, green. Okay. Well, I'm glad the great minds think alike because that's where I was going. Great minds and all that. Oh, yeah. Definitely the green. Definitely the green. Okay. So I'm not a good bow person. I'm looking for my tearing tape. Actually, I don't even need tearing tape. I can just use, oh heck, just use the tear and tape. You already have it, right? We are halfway through our 12 days of crafting. I like this concept, and I'm really thinking, debating that after we're done with this series of um, when I pick my stamp set of the month, do a series that is geared towards maybe not 12 days, but crafting with that one product for a couple days. I think I like that idea. It's not centered. Perfect. Okay. We've got our ribbon on. We don't have our bow yet. And then, I want to see if any of the sentiment die cuts from would work on here. Mm, I think size-wise, that one would work, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh, we could stamp something on this one and put this in the middle. Okay. That's not what I was planning on doing, so and because I'm horrible at tying bows, this is how I do my faux bows when I'm making projects. Straighten that up. Then let me grab a piece of tear and tape. Burnish that in there. All right, so as I said in the beginning, my card is going to be, the only colors that I'm going to have is the pops of colors that we see here. Everything else is going to be white. So now I'm going to grab a piece of, this was 3 3/8 square. So I'm going to grab a piece that's 3 3/4 by 5, or make a piece that's 3 3/4 by 5. before I put it on my card base. Alrighty. As much as I like bows, I'm horrible at them. There we go. Perfect. All right. 3 3/4 by 5 is my next piece. And I do need to trim this down. Three, because that was 3 3/8. Yeah, let's just go with 3 3/4 by 5. That's a standard measurement that we're going to go with that. We're going to add our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of cardstock. This is so... Oh, I told you guys I'm into splattering, right? So let's do a little bit of splattering. This is as much as I do with watercolors, Brenda. I splatter. I splatter. That's what I do. Get that out of the way. Add some more. Perfect. I think that's enough. Okay, and let that dry for a second. And then I'm also going to need to do a sentiment. Now, the question I have for myself, oh, I'm going to put the sentiment right down there. Should have thought about that before. So I have used missed you, I've used birthday wishes, and I've used for someone extra special. I think maybe big thanks. Because I do want to use all of the stamps. So I am going to use big thanks. Oh yeah, that one will work. Definitely going to work. It's a lot bigger than it looked. All right. I might splatter again just to make sure I've got splatter everywhere. So if that's there, and this goes down here, I think that'll work. Perfect. Okay, let's get to stamping it down. All right, I'm going to condition my stamp. Um, Whenever I'm using a stamp for the first time, I always stamp it first, even though I've conditioned it, just to make sure and see what's going on with it. That's just my tip for how when I have a new stamp. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to emboss this on this. Thank you. All right, we're going to set this on about here. Big thanks. And then we're going to double heat emboss our sentiment. I think we did good. The idea came to fruition, I think. The vision that I saw in my head, I think it's working. I buy these little paint pots in like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and that kind of stuff. So, because I've always wanted to watercolor, but just never been good at it. So I guess I just need to watch a couple more videos just to be on the safe side, right? And I think I'm not, I don't get the paper, um, watercolor paper is watercolor paper to me, but there's cold press and yeah, I just don't have the hang of it all. And I think some of the paper that I use, which is one of the challenges I have with watercoloring, is that the paper, it's probably not good quality watercolor paper because the paper, what do you call it, pills? Is that the word that I'm looking for? You know, after you've passed that brush a couple of times, it just starts to shred that paper. So I know I don't have the right color or the right kind of watercolor paper. And I don't want to invest in expensive stuff because I don't know that I'm going to like watercoloring. You know what I mean? So I'm caught in a catch-22 kind of place there. All right, guys, we are almost done with this card. We're just going to get ready and put it together now. Let's clean up a little bit. All right. Excuse me. There goes those allergies. This is a very low profile double-sided foam tape, which is why I use so much of it because it is very low profile. So I get a little bit of the height and the dimension from adding dimensionals, but not so much that it would cause me to have to do a lot more add-ons for shipping. I'm very annoyed with the shipping with shipping these days, and yeah, I am very annoyed about it. Okay, let's go ahead and put our card together, guys. We're almost done. Gonna add a little bit of embellishments here, and it'll be the embellishments that came in the 12 days. All right, I gotta stand up so I can look over this. Thank you. And make sure that we are aligned and centered. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Love it. All right. Grab our card base. put day 6 to bed. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Now, if I did not want to do this in an all white tone on tone palette, this is 3 3/4 by 5 panel. I could mat it with a color that was 4 by 5 1/4, or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I could have embossed this 3 3/4 by 5 panel. That's another thing that I could have done. There are just so many different ways that we could have taken this card up a notch. I mean, it's still beautiful. I love it. I love it. We're going to burnish our adhesive into this. And there we go. Let's add some bling because we have them. Never complete without adding some bling. All right. I know for a fact that 2 of them are going to go down here. 1 and 2. I don't know where the other ones are going to go. And that I got to figure out. We did not use the dies, the designer series paper. We did not use the sentiment strips. I'm wondering, where should I put the third? I need a balance. Oh, right there. Right there. The rule of odds or the rule of 3. And there we have our finished card. Oh. All right. So here's our finished project. And we focused on the use of the puffy stickers. I love this. What do you guys think? All right, so moving on to the moment we have all been waiting for, although I waited to see if I would finish this card, right? What is day number 7? What do we got to work with tomorrow? Let's take a look. All right. Let's see. What do we have in day 7? I realize my camera zoomed in a little bit much. But I'll open it and then I'll share it with you. How about we do that? Dot. You're gonna laugh. Oh my goodness. More dies. More die. Was I not just saying that I would have loved a postage style die? It's in day 7. Amazing. So guys, there's like 2 sets of dies in here. This is amazing. And they are they nested? That nests in there. This nests in there. So they are nesting dies. And the smaller of the square one has some stitching on the inside of the inside. So this is some set of 5 nesting dies. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I gotta remember to label these so I don't. Oops. I always have to have. I'm a gadget kind of girl. Go, go, Inspector Gadget. I got this little tool in Harbor Freight, right? Because I know, right? I have one now. I'm always dropping my dies on the floor. And sometimes in a crafting session, there's just so much scrap and stuff on the floor. It's very hard to find anything. So I, that was like the greatest invention for me when I saw that. What did I just do with the thing? Oh, there it is. So as of right now, I'm going to keep everything in this one sleeve. I might need to add another sleeve or take it into a project folder. I'm excited. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to... Ooh. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to do some triple time stamping. That just came to my head. Okay? I said I probably am. I don't know that I'm definitely going to do that. But with the nesting dies, triple time stamping just popped into my head as to what we should do tomorrow. All right, guys, that's it for us for tonight. I have a lot going on tomorrow, so I will probably pre-record making tomorrow's card, just to make sure that I do go live as I do give you a day 7 as I promised. Um, if I get home in time, because I do have several events and activities that I need to do tomorrow, I will go live. Either way, you will see a video at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time um, on my YouTube channel. Guys, I appreciate you so much for everything that you have done, for taking the time. If you see any of the products that I've used this evening that you would love to get into your hot little hands, don't forget to shop in my online store, and you can go to see the link in the center of the screen. That's www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. That's 4 S's in Sweet Signatures. And if you just want to contact me, guys, my contact information is in the description box below, as well as scrolling across the top of the team. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would love to have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Again, you reach out to me, contact me. If you have been thinking about becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to have you on Sweet Signature Stampers. On that note, you guys, thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy stamping!